President Biden giving a fiery address to the nation, saying the real threat to democracy comes from MAGA Republicans.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They're MAGA Republicans. Extreme MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans, extreme MAGA ideology. MAGA Republicans. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. The MAGA Republicans believe that for them to succeed, everyone else has to fail. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair.
The White House insists the address was not political, and critics are blasting the president over the tone, calling it dark and divisive. And it wasn't just the words, some noting the blood-red backdrop and the optics of having two Marines flanking the president. Republicans have been tearing into Biden's speech.
The strange and wildly inappropriate setting, the unusual, weird red lighting, most worrisome having Marines standing behind him in which he's engaging in political attacks on 74 million Americans.
An assault on the soul of America.
A political speech, it was a divisive speech, and that's not presidential.
A very cynical attempt to fill our heads with stupid.
He always has a way with words.
What do you see for the midterms, and what do you advise candidates? Now, Kevin McCarthy, it's the first time in 28 years that Republicans are doing something similar to the contract with America. He's calling it commitments to America. He will release that publicly on Friday. I think many Senate candidates will also sign on to it. It's your agenda. It's the MAGA agenda. It is the America First agenda, which, by the way, Joe Biden gave an entire speech on. Did you see? I know you saw the speech because you mentioned it in your rally.
We talked about MAGA.
And
then I said, no, you don't understand. It's Make America Great Again. You know, how do you attack? Make America Great Again is under attack.
I define my political philosophy very simply. I'm a conservative. I'm a registered conservative because I'm in New York. Okay. Believe in liberty, freedom, capitalism, our Constitution, law and order, safety and security, or else you can't pursue happiness. Right? Okay. I want choice in school. We spend more per capita per education with the worst results. You talk about it often. I believe in secure borders, legal immigration. I believe in energy independence. I'd like to see that next step, like you talk about, for energy dominance. Okay. I want NATO to pay its fair share, free and fair trade, which you talked a lot about.
And I got
peace through strength. You got to have the best military on the face of the earth. We have a lot of bad actors. And I believe that the Supreme Court should interpret the Constitution and not write legislation. Now, and we believe in the First and Second Amendment. That's pretty much sums up who I've been on air. Now 36 years I've been on radio and 27 at Fox, whatever it is, 26.
And that's not conservative. You know what that is? Common sense.
I agree.
Okay? I often say, are you a conservative? I'm a person with common sense. Strong borders, energy independence, great education, strong military. All of these things, low taxes, they're going to double, triple your taxes. It's crazy. You know, even from a political standpoint, how crazy is it? My whole life, the man who was going to lower taxes always had, or woman, always had the advantage, right, in an election. Today they're talking about openly we're going to raise. How about you're talking about nuclear weapons, which is the biggest threat in the world today by far. And we have a president at the United Nations today that goes on and talks about global warming and climate change. You know, it used to be called global warming, but that wasn't working too well.
Global warming.
So now they call it climate change.
Before that, it was global cooling. The next ice age is coming.
Years ago, they thought it was global cooling. But, I mean, we have such problems in this country. And if you look at the Green New Deal, the trillions and trillions of dollars we're spending on this, it's like throwing it out the window. A big reason, by the way, for this inflation. The other big reason is what they allowed to happen to energy. Energy has gone so high, so fast, it was devastating. It lifted everything else. Now everything else has caught up. It's not merely energy.
Let me ask you, if you were to run again and win, if you were to win and you became president, we would only be able to serve one term. How long do you believe you could get things back to where you had it when you left?
Very quickly, except for one thing. Millions of people are in our country now that shouldn't be here. Many of them are prisoners.
Would you deport them?
Criminals. The bad ones I would deport. Yeah, the bad ones I would deport. Millions and millions of people they're poisoning our country. They're poisoning. I'd like to be nice about it. Yesterday, I heard that Venezuela is emptying their prisons out into the United States. Now,
I saw that
I wasn't
report.
that shocked because other countries have been doing it, and I've been hearing about it and reading about it and seeing it. So I'm almost surprised it took them so long. But Venezuela is emptying their prison population into the United States, going right through the border like nothing. We're poisoning our country, and it's very hard to come back from that. We can come back. We'll get the oil. We'll get the price down. You know, if we got the price of oil down,
Inflation.
Putin would stop. I wouldn't even have to talk to him. Putin would stop because he wouldn't be able to afford it. He wouldn't be able to go forward. But he's making so much money, even above and beyond the cost of war. And he's selling it to China, and he's selling it to other places. And Europe is going to dump us, you watch, because they're not going to allow their people to freeze. So they're going to dump us. We're out there fighting. We're spending many times more money than them. And they will be dumping us. You know, we did one thing very bad. Yeah. We allowed Russia and China to unify. That's a very bad thing.